welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Karen.
And I'm Mike, and we are back here with day 2, part B of our look at some of the most common phone problems that you can face when using your wonderful, convenient, and always in your hand smartphone. Smartphones are great. They're very, very, very useful for so many reasons, but occasionally they have problems. They are machines, they aren't perfect, and we live in a crazy world where many things can happen that we don't expect. Well, some things we can expect, like yesterday, Ivan and Nadia had a problem. Well, Ivan's phone had a problem. Its battery was getting old and a little tired, and it couldn't hold a charge. He had no power. But that's something you can fix by getting your phone fixed or maybe buying a new battery or a new phone. Today, though, we have no connection. So you can have a brand new phone, but it's still not going to work.
Exactly. And then I think it would happen usually not when you're in the city. I think when you're in the city, it's usually fine.
Well, you could be inside a big building where there's no connection.
You're right. Or maybe you're in the basement.
In the basement.
Sometimes you don't get connection. Or for people who love to go hiking, you're up in the mountains and then you're enjoying the view, but you want to check where you are. Oh, and then there's no signal. There is no connection.
Exactly right. You use that word signal. That's really what we're talking about. Those little bars that show that you can connect to the internet easily and quickly. Those bars are gone, or they're very, very low. Or you're trying to use that Wi-Fi and you have that spinning circle where it's trying to shake hands and connect or join to the Wi-Fi signal and it's just not working. And you're like, I'm so frustrated. I just want to look at my email or send a message or look something up on the internet, but I can't get a connection. It's like standing there with a telephone, but it's not plugged in. You can have a beautiful phone, a beautiful smartphone, but with no connection, it's just a piece of plastic and glass in your hand.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. So let's get into it.
All right. Sylvia and Jonas are at a cafe.
Does your internet work? I'm having trouble connecting to the cafe's Wi-Fi.
Yes, it does. Did you enter the cafe's Wi-Fi password correctly?
Yes, I checked it many times. I also tried turning the Wi-Fi off and on, but it didn't change anything.
All right, we are back with part B. No connection, no signal on your phone. Yesterday it was no power with Ivan and Nadia hanging out at campus. Today it says Sylvia and Jonas are at a cafe. So they're also hanging out, and one of them is going to be having trouble getting a signal or a connection to their phone. Let's find out who.
Okay, so Sylvia starts off the conversation by asking, does your internet work? I'm having trouble connecting to the cafe's Wi-Fi. So I guess maybe they're trying to do some work in the cafe. They need the internet connection. A lot of people go to cafes, restaurants, and then they would use their Wi-Fi, and then the cafe or restaurant would provide a password, and then they can just type it in and connect to the internet. But for some reason, Sylvia is having trouble doing that. So what does it mean when I say having trouble to do something? So having trouble to do something means experiencing difficulty or some problems or inconvenience while trying to complete a task or action. Like, I'm having some difficulty doing this. I'm having a problem doing this. So an example sentence would be, the little boy was having trouble tying his shoes, so his mom helped him. It was like, oh, he's trying, but then he's having problems. I just can't do it. And then his mom came to his rescue.
Yay! So he got some help from his mom. Well, maybe Sylvia can get some help from Jonas, or they can figure out this problem. We'll find out after we check in with our good friend Tina.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的文法重点。Have trouble 加上 VING， 做某事有困难。Trouble 是名词，意思是困难、问题。我们来看看这个例句。Sophie had trouble opening the jar. Sophie 打开那个罐子时遇到困难。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, we are back. So Sylvia can't get on the internet using the Wi-Fi at the cafe that they are inside. And she asks Jonas if he can get a signal if his internet works. He says yes, it does. So he can connect to the free Wi-Fi in the cafe, but Sylvia can't. How strange. We should point out here, by the way, that free Wi-Fi in cafes and restaurants and other places, very useful, very convenient, but not very safe. So you don't want to use the free Wi-Fi if you're using your bank apps or putting in a lot of passwords and code words. Other people could see what you're writing by using the Wi-Fi. So do use it carefully. But yeah, if you're just reading your email or reading the news or playing games or whatever, it's fine. But do remember, other people can use it and might be watching you. But anyways, back to the dialogue. He says, yes, it does. Mine's fine. I'm using the Wi-Fi. It's great. And then he asks her a good question. Did you enter the cafe's Wi-Fi password correctly? Because as you said, they often have a special password, 12345, or the phone number of the cafe, something like that. And of course, with anything, if you don't put in the right password, it won't work.
Exactly. And then now Sylvia says, yes, I checked it many times. So I guess it can be pretty frustrating, right? You think you're doing everything right, but you still cannot connect to the Wi-Fi. And then she says, I also tried turning the Wi-Fi off and on, but it didn't change anything. Yeah, oftentimes when you have problems with Wi-Fi, sometimes you can just turn it off and then turn it back on, and then voila, it would work. But it didn't help her this time.
You're right. That is a good thing to try with any app. If it doesn't work, close it, open it again. Maybe it'll work. But yeah, it's not working now also. So something is going on. Well, let's go over to Tina. We'll check in with her again, and then we'll be back.
我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的文法。Try 加上 VING， 试试看做某事。Try 当作尝试方法是否可行时要接动名词。如果说 try to 加动词，则表示试着努力做某事。我们先来看看 try 加上 VING 的例句，指的是尝试方法是否可行。Leo tried painting a picture with his left hand. Leo 试着用左手画一幅画。我们再来看看加上 to 加动词的例句指的是试着努力做某事。Mia tried to finish her homework before dinner. Mia 努力在晚餐前完成作业。接着我们回到课文当中。
And we are back. Okay, so from our dialogue today, we know that Sylvia is having a problem connecting to the Wi-Fi in the cafe. And she is pretty frustrated because she tried typing in the password correctly many times, right? Maybe she could ask for help. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe someone in the cafe can help her. And it's really strange because her friend Jonas is using the same Wi-Fi from the cafe. And his is fine, no problem. So let's see what solution they find in the second part of the dialogue.
I have an idea. Try rebooting your phone.
What does that do?
It shuts down all open apps, clears the memory, and starts the system again.
And that will solve my Wi-Fi problem?
It should. It usually works for me.
Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so we're still looking at the problem that Sylvia is having right now. She's having difficulty connecting to the Wi-Fi in the cafe, and I think her friend Jonas is going to help her.
Yes, hopefully he is. Well, it seems, though, he has an idea.
Yay!
We know that because he says, I have an idea. So that means something has come into his head. This might be a solution or an answer. And here is his idea. Try rebooting your phone.
That is very smart.
Yes, thank you. I'm a genius. Oh, he's a genius. Rebooting your phone means turn your phone off and then turn it on again. Restart your phone. But yeah, with computers and things like that, we often say reboot, which just means to start it again after turning it off.
And now Sylvia says, what does that do? Okay, so I guess she's not very clear on why Jonas suggested that. So now Jonas is going to explain why.
Yes, he says it shuts down all open apps, clears the memory, and starts the system again. It's a fresh start for your phone, and this also often works with computers too.
That's right.
If your computer is acting weird, one of the simplest things to do is just restart it or reboot it. It will help to clear some of the apps. To clear is kind of like to erase, to get rid of, to wipe out that stuff that's there. If I have a bunch of stuff on the table and I just do that with my hands, it will all land on the ground, which could be bad, but it will clear the table. It will be empty, fresh, and clean, ready for a new start. That's an idea.
Exactly. So clearing all the apps and then also the memory as well, right? So memory, that's a noun. Usually when you talk about memory, it's the process of storing experiences in the brain and recalling them later. But right here, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the memory in your phone. So what is the memory in your phone? In the heart of every smartphone, there are two different types of memory. There's the RAM, so RAM, and also ROM, ROM. So these are the two different types of memory. So RAM is the short-term memory. So it stores data and also a lot of the apps that are open right now. But whereas ROM, ROM, is more like the long-term memory, like the videos and the pictures that you have stored in your phone. So an example sentence for this would be, I need to delete some videos to free up memory on my phone.
That's right. It's not just places to keep things you want to keep for a long time. It's also a place for the computer to use that information to make the phone work now as you're using it. So restarting it is a good way to clear all that stuff and get a fresh new start for the whole system. And the system is basically all the software that's in your phone. If you're using a PC, you have Windows. If you have Apple, it's iOS, and all of the apps and programs that use that. So all of that information and the way it all works together and joins together, that's the system. So restarting it just gives everything a fresh new start without a lot of the stuff that was in there before. So this is a good, simple way to try to fix a small problem. Let's go over to Tina. She'll help us with many other problems we have.
我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的单字 clear 动词清除 Mia cleared all the old files from her computer. Mia 把电脑里所有旧档案清除了。Memory 名词记忆体 Tom's computer doesn't have enough memory to open the game. Tom 的电脑记忆体不足，无法开启那款游戏。System 名词系统The school installed a new security system last week. 学校上周安装了新的保全系统。Install 指的是安装 ，security 指的是保安、防护。文法的部分刚刚提到了 shut down 关闭、停止运作。Shut 指的是关上、关闭，它的三态是 shut. 我们来看看这个例句。The computer shut down because it was too hot. 电脑因为太热而停止运作了。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, so Sylvia is having problems with the Wi-Fi in the cafe, and before she even asks someone there for help, her friend Jonas said, just reboot your phone. Turn it off, turn it on again. That could help clear all your problems.
That's right. And then now Sylvia says, and that will solve my Wi-Fi problem. So I guess she's not so sure if that would be the solution. But I guess maybe Jonas wouldn't know 100% for sure. But that's definitely, something that you can try.
And he was talking about clearing the memory and the system and all this, but that will also help the Wi-Fi. I think it probably will, yeah.
Yeah, I think 80% of the time, 80% of your problem, you can just reboot it and the problems will go away. That's a good way to solve your problem. So what does it mean to solve? So that is a verb. To solve means to find the answer to a problem or question. So an example sentence would be, the kids worked together to solve the mystery of the missing toy. So they had to, come together and come with different ideas and see, okay, how do we solve this mystery?
All right, so she wanted to know if rebooting the phone will solve the problem. And Jonas, well, of course, he can't promise it will, but he says it should. It usually works for me. So he really believes this is a good thing to do. He really believes it will work. And the other thing is, it's a simple thing to do. If it doesn't work, well, you can try something else, but I agree with Jonas. It should do it. I think there's 80 or 90% sure it will fix her. It will fix it, and she'll be on the Wi-Fi in no time. Let's go over to Tina one last time.
我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的单字 solve 动词解决 Liam worked hard to solve the puzzle. Liam 努力想解开这个谜题。接着我们回到课文当中。
And thank you, Tina. Okay, so now we know the problem Sylvia was having, and we know the possible solution, which is to reboot the phone, right? To restart it. And I think, that's probably something that I will do too. If there's a problem with my phone, I think I'll just turn it off and turn it back on again. And most of the time, it will solve my problem.
That's right. Problems with Wi-Fi, if your programs or apps are running slow or just won't open. And of course, this also works with computers as well. It would be wonderful if it could work with everything, but not always. But definitely computers and smartphones, reboot it, turn it off, start it again, and you have a good chance of getting rid of that problem very easily. Thanks for joining us, guys. We're going to have one more dialogue about fixing common phone problems tomorrow, so please come back and join us for that.
See you next time.
Take care. Bye-bye. Sylvia and Jonas are at a cafe.
Does your internet work? I'm having trouble connecting to the cafe's Wi-Fi.
Yes, it does. Did you enter the cafe's Wi-Fi password correctly?
Yes, I checked it many times. I also tried turning the Wi-Fi off and on, but it didn't change anything.
I have an idea. Try rebooting your phone.
What does that do?
It shuts down all open apps, clears the memory, and starts the system again.
And that will solve my Wi-Fi problem?
It should. It usually works for me.
我们来复习一下这课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 clear 动词清除 memory 名词记忆体 system 名词系统 solve 动词解决。接着我们来看文法的部分 have trouble 加上 VING 做某事有困难 My grandpa has trouble seeing really small words 我爷爷看非常小的字会有困难 try 加上 VING 试试看做某事I tried waving to get your attention, but you didn't see me. 我试着挥手来引起你的注意，但你没看到我。Try to 加动词，试着努力做某事。Sally is trying to save money for her trip. Sally 试着存钱去旅游。Shut down 关闭，停止运作。All of a sudden, the machine shut down by itself. 那台机器无预警自动关机了。 以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，那我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Hey, did you hear? Bob said that he got a free concert ticket, he met a famous movie star, and won the lottery all on the same day.
Do you believe all that? Sounds like he's full of beans to me.
Full of beans? What, did he win some beans too?
No. Full of beans just means that he's exaggerating or just making the whole thing up.
Oh, I get it. Well, I guess that story does sound kind of far-fetched.
Kind of? It sounds like something out of a dream.
Hi everyone, today's phrase is full of beans.
That's right. In slang, when someone is full of beans, it means they're talking nonsense or not telling the truth.
It can also suggest that someone is overly confident and boastful, but there's no real substance behind what they're saying.
Exactly. It's an informal, often humorous way to call out nonsense.
Here's an example sentence. He claimed he could run a mile in under 4 minutes, but we all knew he was full of beans.
Or she's always going on about how she dated a movie star. But I think she's just full of beans.
So next time you catch someone telling an unbelievable story, you can say they're full of beans.
Exactly. And that's all for today. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.